What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to We'll See You Media, and you're here for another episode of the Day After. It is Monday morning. Good morning to you all. Horrible night in Philadelphia. I don't know what you want to call it. Catastrophic night in Philadelphia. Flyers lose, Phillies lose, Eagles lose. Eagles lose to the New York Giants, division rivalry. Phillies get kicked out of the postseason. No more for the 2025 season in the Phillies. We're going to get right into the Philadelphia Eagles, though. And then we're going to hit a little bit of the Phillies. I'm not going to hit the Flyers today. You know what I'm saying? The beginning of the season, we'll see what that's going to be hitting for. But before we get started, hit that like, hit that subscribe, comment. Want to hear your thoughts about the game, whether it's the Eagles, the Phillies, the Flyers, or anything about life. Hit down on the comments and also help me get to them 50 subscribers so that we can start going on live. But without further ado, let's hit the Philadelphia Eagles. Because I'm pretty sure if you were like me, I'm like, okay, it's the New York Giants whose record is at 1-4. I already know they're going to secure the ball because the last game that they played, they had a horrible take as far as turnovers, fumbles. So I know they want to make sure they do that. And then again, it's a division game. They're going up against the world defending champions. It's Philadelphia anyway, so there's a lot of history there. So they're ready to play. Saquon Barkley's back in the building. They're ready to play. And when they came out in that game, you saw from the crowd, although the Philadelphia Eagles showed up, the fans, Philadelphia Eagles fans showed up and showed out. But the crowd, as far as New York goes, the energy you felt from the New York Giants when they first even started their drive, you knew they came to play. You knew they came to play. Now, Philly came in. I don't want to say I felt that same energy. I was watching both. I was watching the Phillies and the Eagles at the same time during the beginning of the game. So I was into it, but you could see Philadelphia, as they were like, yeah, we got to do this. We got to do this. Saquon Barkley was getting off to a good start. The offense was getting off to a good start. Sound familiar, though? Sound familiar, though? Because they can't put together a complete game. And I'm going to run down some statistics as far as what this game had, and then you let me know how you feel about it. First half, Barkley. He had 8 rushes for 56 yards. 8 rushes for 56 yards. First half. Second half, he finishes the game with 12 rushes for 58 yards. That means he went 4 more rushes on a complete half with only 2 yards. Jalen Hurts started off the game, first half, 14 for 18, 164 yards. He ends the game with 24 of 33 for 283 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. The whole first half, the Eagles scored, let's see, because I want to make sure I had this all right, 17 points. The second half, they scored donut. Last week, bad second half. Horrible second half. Now, Lane Johnson, and I'm trying to put all this together, Lane Johnson, after the game, said, we get very predictable. We have to keep the defense guessing, not to be predictable. He also stated a couple words when I took out of his post interview. We need to start playing with a variety, right? We say this every week. We've said this every week. So who's it going to be on? Who's it going to be on? We have an offensive coordinator, right? Who is new and he's getting into his little groove. Why are we predictable? Even the rushes that I saw Saquon run in the second half of the game, the same particular run, you already knew it was a run. And the way he's lined up, he's getting no yards. And I'm not going to blame it all on the line. There's no yards. Why? Because I know what you're going to run. If I know what you're going to run, and I guessed it totally right because you're predictable, you're not going to go nowhere. Because I'm going to plug them holes. And I don't care how much blocking you can do. If I'm ready for you there, I'm going to go there. The offensive calling, the lack of fluidity, not being able to open up your mind to create creative plays, it's not working. It's not working. And this is on a night where you already come into the game. Offensively, you don't have Landon Dickerson, right? He's gone. Okay, cool, right? Then, defensively, Jalen Carter is not playing. You already have Nolan Smith out. You already lost another defensive end. Who was that? Oju? You already lost, during the game, you lost Quinyon Mitchell. Now your secondary's really hurting because you have Keely Ringo, Dory Jackson in. Jacorian Bennett is gone. Now, this is the defense you're playing with. And like I said, New York came out. They came out ready to play. They came out ready to ball. The defense could not hold them down. So this is one of those games where you need the offense now to really take the pressure off the defense to help the defense out. All year long, the defense has been holding down the Philadelphia Eagles when it comes to their points, when it comes to making sure the other team doesn't score, and it showed tonight. What is your offense going to do? This is week 5. We're coming to the game. Jalen Hurts, A.J. Brown, Saquon Barkley had a meeting. We come into a game already knowing our problem is execution. We come into a game already knowing that we can't just pass the ball. We can't just run the ball. We need to make sure it's a good combination of both. We come into the game knowing we need to start off fast and we need to end off equally as fast as we start, right? And then in the second half, it goes right back to that. It goes right, it blows back up. They're predictable. They have no type of in-game adjustments. They have no halftime adjustments. Who does that fall on? Let me know in the comments who you think the problem is. Because I think it's a variety of things. Right? Because you're not going to tell me that during the off season you don't practice together. So your timing is better. Our offense is really completely the same that we had last year. And I'm not talking about the play call. I'm talking about players, right? I know you, you know me. So if we go out there, we're going to ball. Because I know what you like. I know what I like. I know how you run. I know how well I go. Execution has to do with running the plays constantly, where it becomes second nature, right? That drive at the end of the game, the one where Jalen Hurts gets picked off. He throws the same ball, same side of the field the whole time. All it took for the cornerback was to finally realize it and then come back and snatch that thing. Now, for Jalen Hurts, I'm going to give him this. This is the only part I'm going to give him. They shouldn't have kept doing the same side. But that was on the receiver. The receiver also has to come back to the ball, get that thing. The cornerback pretty much snatched it out of his hands. Right? I think A.J. Brown makes that catch. Or if he doesn't make that catch, I think it's not intercepted. He saves the quarterback from an interception. All right? Jahan Dotson just a little bit. Jahan Dotson's a good receiver. It's just that when it comes to the physicality part, on things like that, the cornerback normally might get him. All right? That's not the first time it happened. It happened last year, too. Snatched right out of his hands. It was worse last year because it was really snatched out of his hands. I'm taking it from you. It's my ball. Right? So, yeah, man. offensively, they got to get it together. They got to get it. They got to get it together. I hear you. I hear you. I don't want to keep hearing it every week. Comes down to our exit. I don't want to hear that every week. I don't. I already know execution ain't there. Really, I don't have to hear anything. It's probably the media asking the same questions. But you have a very predictable game. Teams are telling you that. It's not like I'm just saying it from a fan perspective and I'm like looking at it. Even though Phillies fans are smart, right? And I know some football. Okay, so if I'm watching the play and I see if I can predict what's going on. You mean to tell me that the NFL scouts, another NFL team, this is their job. They come here every single day. I'm a fan, right? I'm a fan. This is their job. They're looking at you constantly, every day, all week. And when it comes to people like the Giants, all year. Because you're our division rival. So you think they ain't going to figure out what the play is running? You think they ain't going to know what you about to do? So if other teams, because other teams have said it this year already, if they're telling you they know what you're going to do, then what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to go back in there, grind, figure out what works with my system completely, doesn't matter what the other team know or not. And then also be creative, create some new plays, right? I see a lot of people are talking about trying to get the coach from the Miami Dolphins to become the offensive coordinator. But, yeah, I don't know about that. But, hey, it couldn't hurt. They need an offensive coordinator. And then defensively, again, they were just banged up. They're banged up. They got to fix the cornerback problem. I, myself, at the end of the year, I didn't think they was going to keep Darius Slay. But I figured that they were going to keep Isaiah Rodgers. I won't keep running that horse, but Isaiah Rodgers is doing this thing over there in Minnesota Vikings. He's doing this thing over in Minnesota. And I thought the whole thing with Howie, when he got Isaiah Rodgers from the Colts, right? When he had that whole little issue with the NFL and he was suspended for a year, I thought he was taking him to stash him, to hold him for when Darius Slay actually did leave. Now, for the amount of money that he actually got from the Minnesota Vikings, we had that money and could have gave it to him because we wound up getting Adoree Jackson. Eventually wound up getting Jacorian Bennett, but that was a little bit later. You know what I mean? Hold up, we got one more too. But anyway, we paid him enough. The money wasn't that big of a difference. So to have Isaiah Rodgers, who already knows Vic Fangio's system, we already know he can play because we watched him when he had to fill in for Darius Slay. And he's a little younger. That was the guy to keep. 3 years. A little 3-year contract. You know what I mean? And then we would have been off to the hills. Because now you're still worried about depth. Because beyond Quinyon Mitchell and beyond if you kept Isaiah Rodgers, now you got Kelee Ringo. You got people to fill in, and if you went out and got Adoree anyway, or if you didn't have to get Adoree at that time, but say you wound up drafting somebody else or pulling in Jacorian Bennett later down the line. I don't know how it would have went had you kept Isaiah. But at that point, you still needed somebody to back them up, right? Because we see what happened. Now, you're already with Lil Word on one side. Quinyon Mitchell goes out. Now you're worried on both sides. Now we're playing that little soft shell, and they just every single time I could get them the ball, and that helped New York. But I'm not again. I mean, the defense has to be better. They got to get to the quarterback. Man, Jackson Dart was running. They got a good quarterback. Jackson Dart was running. They got a good quarterback. They got a good running back. Scatterbo, whichever way you want to call it. But there's no way, like, you got to get home. All the times they put pressure on Jackson Dart, you got to take him down. You got to finish off the process. He was like a little magic man back there. Every time you thought it was third down, you was just like, oh, they probably going to get this. After a while, that's what you was thinking. They're going to get this. Get them, man. So defense wasn't able to hold the New York Giants offense. That was a problem, right? And just because a man's injured, next man up supposed to be whatever. But it's the whole makeup of the defense. So what do I think needs to happen? I think they have to go out and go get another cornerback. I think they do. You tell me your thoughts. Let me know what you think. I mean, I'm a person who likes to give people time to be able to acclimate themselves to the team in the process. Keely Ringo has been in there. I see some good things, but I see him getting picked on. I hope he turns around, and I hope I'm wrong. I hope he gets it together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you need time to play to be able to do that, but it's just we're at a win now type team all the time. Win now. Win now means you have to have it together. You go to step in, you are that person now. Last year, Darius Slay, Quinyon Mitchell. The next man stepping up in those spots was Isaiah Rodgers. It wasn't Keely. So this year, they're just trying to figure it out and fix the pieces. Trade deadline is November 4th, I think. Howie's going to be cooking something. After this loss here, yeah, Howie's on the phone. I'm telling you, Howie's on the phone. Howie's on the phone. Offensively, he's not messing with that. I get that part. That's the offensive coordinator. So I don't know what type of meeting they're going to have today. They're going to have something. Because that's not acceptable. I know every team's an NFL, every team's a team. You can lose to anybody. That's 2 losses straight. And not only that, New York kicked our ass. Excuse my language. New York kicked our butt. So they got to figure that part out. I mean, some of the other things. Oh, Hurts on that pass to Devontae Smith, which that one play could have also changed the game. Devontae Smith was gone. If he got caught, he got caught. But for the most part, he might have had a touchdown. That bomb, he could have had a touchdown. And Hurts called it a bad ball, bad execution. Can't make every throw. But that throw you're supposed to make, right? Right? That was a touchdown. That changes the dynamic of the game and where it may have went, right? Because momentum is a real thing. Momentum is a real thing. When you in game, momentum is a real thing. Because some people can't take the pressure of a team whooping on you. Or when you coming back, you feel it, and now you're amped up, and now you're playing even better because you think you could go get it, while the other team might feel that pressure and they don't make it. You know what I'm saying? Pressure's a real thing. Ask the Phillies pitcher. Pressure's a real thing. We're going to get to that. Ask the Phillies pitcher, though. Another thing, Saquon Barkley, after the game, he stated, tough detail together. We were none of these things, right? Nick Sirianni went on to say, it's gut check time. Well, last year, same thing happened. We weren't doing too well. It was a gut check time. The only difference between last year and this year is a couple differences. But one of the main ones is you have an offensive coordinator who is not proven yet. And so far, he hasn't been able to show. He's not taking no steps forward for me. He's not taking no steps giving me even a promise of like, okay, he getting somewhere. Yes, we see them nice creative plays you'll see in the first half of this and that and other, but them adjustments are key. Them adjustments are needed. They're not doing it. I really need to know what was the adjustment made when we played the LA Rams and came out that second half kicking behind. What was the real adjustment? Was it Jalen Hurts calling the plays? What's going on now? Because we're able to do the first half, can't do the second half. Because can't make those adjustments in the second half. And it is execution as well. Because there are missed balls where you're like, oh man, if they did that, that changes the game. Just like we just said. So we got to figure out, but still, two of the same type of run plays from Saquon Barkley to start your drive, and you end up 3rd and 10 or 11. Every third down for the most part was 3rd and long. And when those happened, it was because of something that happened by play call. You're not going to get every yard. But you can't run the same stupid play. As a player, Saquon, I'm not going to run that same play and they sitting there. And I believe Saquon Barkley went on to say something like, we're allowing teams to take us out of our gameplay, to take us out of who we are. I don't know who they are no more. Who are you? They know who they are individually, but as a team identity when it comes to offense, who are you? Because you're not running the right plays. Your offensive identity is messed up because the offensive coordinator ain't giving you good stuff. Yes, you have to execute better. You have too much on that offense not to be able to execute and draw up great plans and to make adjustments. Force your will like you do on the tush push. I understand what Saquon's saying, but force the issue. Jalen Hurts in the back pocket with 30 minutes to throw the ball and he don't have nobody open. Got to wait for somebody to come back to the ball. Why is that? These are questions that needs to be answered. And it maybe the answer will give you a better gameplay. I keep running this particular play with Saquon Barkley, and he's getting hit in the backfield every time. And then I try to do it again. He's hitting the backfield again. What was I looking for? Am I ignorant to the fact that he's not getting yards off those plays? Why is that? Ask yourself. I have two Pro Bowl wide receivers because I'm going to be A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith are Pro Bowl wide receivers. I have a first-round pick in Jahan Dotson. Why can't I get them the ball? Why aren't they open? Let's go, man. I'm not going to spend too much time on that. You lost a game. Every third down's a problem. Fix it. You shouldn't even be in third down and long territory anyway. Why? Your first two plays ain't working. Fix it. What's wrong with the first two plays? Well, I'm calling the wrong first two plays. Well, what's wrong? Fix it. Came out, tried to do the same thing they did in the first half and the second half, which was all those same complete runs from Saquon Barkley. Like the other team ain't got nobody over there to be able to say, oh, we need to get ready for this. Hire me. I am available. Listen, you ask me to do it, I'll figure it out. I have not coached on NFL level. I have not played on NFL level. I haven't played college football. But I guarantee you, if you give me the opportunity, I might be able to do a better job. And that's me being real. Because anything I put my mind to, I'm going to figure this out. And I'm going to go hardcore in it. I hope you're doing the same thing because you already been there. Get it together. 4-2. I'm not worried about the record. Still beginning of the season. Have that conversation that y'all had last year. Fix it. Fix it. And injuries, again, the injury bug is always a major piece for any football team. Once your injuries start popping up, you're like, dang, you go to season. Ask the Cincinnati Bengals. Ask the Baltimore Ravens. It happens. That's understood. But you have too much talent on this team to not be able to carry the load until everybody's healthy. Because offensively, they have not gotten it together. You haven't seen a complete offensive game yet. And that's the only thing that's been holding the Eagles back as far as what I think or where I think they can be, right? Defense was holding it down. They just got to get better. But the offense has to help the defense like the defense has been helping the offense. We're done there. That's all I'm saying. You get better. Minnesota Vikings is next on the list. And I'm expecting better play. I know you are too. Now, Philadelphia Phillies. I'm only going to waste like a couple words because, to be honest with you, I'm still kind of speechless from that. Right? I watched them play. In this entire series. The first two games was ugly. They got him on the third game. Now the fourth game, that was perfect, right? In the fourth game, no, I wasn't perfect. What am I talking about? 1-1. It shouldn't even been 1-1, but I actually like Rob Thompson's decisions now. Now he let Sanchez be able to take the complete sixth inning. Sanchez gets out his mess. He comes into the seventh inning. It becomes another mess. And then they take Sanchez out, right? I can't even say nothing about that. All right, I understand why he took him out then. I wouldn't have took him out that sixth inning. The same thing I thought on the first game. I don't know if that changes the first game or not. But I was thinking the same thing. Don't take him out. Why are you taking him out? He's still been pitching good. It's just some things not getting called. Like even in this seventh inning, or the sixth inning, I'm sorry, the official, the umpire, he did not call a strike that I saw as a strike. And they even showed it. It was right in his own. We get the little box. We get to see everything. Every replay was like, oh, that was supposed to be a strike. What that do? That led to somebody getting on base. So if I see Sanchez like still hitting his mark and doing all right, I'm not taking you out. What am I taking you out for? To put somebody in that might have the pressure. He might be able to get him out, or now we let them score. That was the first game. This game he allows him to stay in. Seventh inning, he pulls him. It is what it is. Team wound up getting one later on the line on Durant, right? Which I was just like, wow. So now you have a tie game. You go to the 10th inning, 11th inning. And then they bring in Kirker. Right? And I'm sorry. They bring him in, and bases loaded. Y'all watch the game. Bases loaded. Kirker delivers the pitch. Batter breaks his back on the pitch. Ball comes straight over to where Kirkland is at. He gets the ball. JT says first base. Now, anybody who knows baseball, and if you don't know baseball, the right play is to send it to first base. Unless that dude was already about to be there and it was already over. But that's your play. And he would have had him out. Because when he got the ball, dude wasn't even halfway to the first base yet. Pressure, mental error, meltdown. Ding, 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 ding. Everything went up from there. And if you look at it, like Bryce Harper face, was it Marsh they showed inside the bullpen, inside the pit? Everybody had the same thing I had. And I didn't know what to say. I just was like, I gotta cut it off. It is what it is. I don't know. I don't know what would have been worse. I think that's the worst because it's just like, well, are you kidding me? I don't know if they let him back on the plane. I think they're gonna keep him away from Philadelphia for a couple weeks. I'm just being real. I don't know. It sucks for him, but boy, was that horrible. And just like that, it's gone. No more Philadelphia Phillies season. And furthermore, I'm not the dude to talk trash to people when it comes to rivalries and stuff like that. I gotta go to work. And here this LA Dodgers fan. I'm glad he ain't texted me yet. Anyway. So, yeah, the season's over, man. I don't know what they're gonna do. Schwarber, you already know his contract's up. They already offered him one earlier in the year, and he didn't want it. So we're gonna see what happens. But in a grand view of things, they might have to shake some things up anyway, because obviously we're able to make it here. They play great ball during the season, but during the postseason, it gets a little like the bats aren't hitting. Right, postseason, is a difference. So, but yeah, I don't know. That's my Phillies talk for the year. I ain't saying nothing else. I'm not saying nothing else because I'm still in disbelief by the most horrible play I've seen this year from the Phillies. especially when it comes to the magnitude of the game. Eagles, they got to get better. I thought after I saw that, I was like, oh, well, I guess they lost so that my Philadelphia Eagles could win. And boy, was I wrong. That's all I got, man. Listen, let me know what you think about the game. Let me know if you think a lot of the Eagles' offensive problems are the offensive coordinator's problem, the coach problem, or is it more so the lack of execution coming from either the players, Jalen Hurts, AJ, line, whatever. Let me know what you think, because I'm interested. But I have my opinion. You know what my opinion is now. So I hope y'all like this. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. Definitely hit the subscribe button. And give me some likes so my analytics can be in the matrix and wave the right way on this YouTube thing so I can start getting some feed. You know what I mean? But other than that, motivate to elevate. That's what we do. Please motivate someone close to you. Have a good one.